So in this section, we're going to talk about different types of data that one could encounter when doing a um, statistical analysis. So let's go over some basic definitions. So a data set is all the information that we collect for a study. An individual is usually a person or object that is being studied, and a variable is some characteristic of the individual that can either be measured or observed. And data is the value of these variables that is obtained. So let's do a quick example. So let's say you're in a math class and you decided to pick 6 random people and ask them a couple questions. You ask them what your majors, your exam score from like a previous exam, and your grade, right? So you have all these information. So you have a data set, and we could do a lot about we could do a lot about these information, and we could ask a couple of questions. So, how many individuals are there? Well, looking at the chart in this table here, there's actually 6 students, so there's 6 individuals. So there are 6. Next, we want to identify the variables. So the variables here are their major, their exam scores, and their grade. So major, exam scores, and the grade. Now you want to know your data for individual number 3. So what you got to do is look at back to your little table here and look at student number 3 and kind of read across the line. So we know that his or her major is communication. His exam score was 82, and his grade is he got a B. Cool. So actually, there's only 2 types of variables, and we're gonna discuss it. So there's quantitative and qualitative variables. So a quantitative variable is just a variable that is measured numerically, so with numbers. So like height or weight. And qualitative, or another word is categorical variable, is not measured numerically. So like colors, like red, blue, yellow. We could even take it a step further. So there's actually 2 types of quantitative variables. There is discrete and there's continuous. So discrete variables are usually, it could be listed or countable. And continuous variables are variables that they're like within some sort of interval. And similarly, there's 2 types of qualitative variables. There's ordinal and nominal. So ordinal variables could be ranked. There's like some sort of natural order to it. And nominal variables cannot be ranked. So there's no really any natural order to it. So let's do a quick example. So I made this little chart here to help you visualize different types of variables. So let's look at qualitative variables. So let's kind of think of different types of qualitative variable. There's eye color, right? And let's say there's shirt size. So shirt size could be like small, medium, large, extra large, right? And you kind of see like there's no number involved. So this is clearly qualitative variables. So let's take it a step further and kind of identify whether they're ordinal or nominal. So you kind of see that shirt size is ordinal. Why? It's because there's some sort of like rank to it. There's small, medium, large, extra large. So there's a way to order it. Small, medium, large, extra large. You could do it from small to the biggest or biggest to the smallest, right? And then eye color, there's no rank to it. There's no really a natural order it. order to it, so that's why it's nominal. Eye color. Like blue's not better than green, or green's not better than blue, so there's no natural order to it. Okay, so let's look at quantitative variables. So we could have like temperature of coffee. And for example, it could be like, I don't know, 80 degrees is the temperature of your coffee, stuff like that. And another example could be the number of people in your town. You kind of see like there's numbers involved in quantitative variables. Temperature of coffee could be in Fahrenheit or Celsius, and then the number of people in your town is like a digit, it's a number. So let's take it a step further and try to identify which one of these are discrete and which one are continuous. Well, for discrete, you kind of see like the number of people in your town, it's only going to be a countable number. So number of people in your town. Oops. There's no way that there's 160.5 people in your town. It has to be like a natural number, a whole number, I guess. So for continuous variables, you kind of see like temperature of coffee is continuous because we can't really measure the exact temperature of a coffee. It's always between like an interval. Temperature of coffee. So if it says it's 71 degrees Fahrenheit is the temperature of your coffee, really it's within that range. Okay, so we're going to do another example. So the idea here is that we want to identify these variables, whether they're qualitative or quantitative, and then determine if they're discrete or continuous, if they're quantitative, or if they're ordinal or nominal, if they're qualitative. And I would highly recommend you pausing this video and kind of do this on your own, give yourself a little bit of practice, and then come back to this and kind of check your answer. Okay, so the age of a person at his, her, or her last birthday. So since this is dealing with numbers, we know that this is quantitative. And it's discrete. There is no like interval, it's only one number. A person's gender. So this is qualitative and nominal because there's no ranking to it. The mileage of a car, so miles per gallon. So this is quantitative. And it's actually continuous. Because there's, it's always within some sort of interval. Okay, money, the amount of money in your bank account. So this is quantitative. And it's actually discrete. Because you can have $5.50 in your bank account, so it's an exact number. It doesn't fall in within like between some sort of interval. Okay, the color of a car. So this is qualitative and it's nominal. Since there's colors, you can't really order them in any natural way. A person's height. So this is quantitative and it's also continuous. because a person could be between 6'1" and 6'2". There's always like a slightly exact number of your height, so that's why it's continuous, like within some sort of interval. Education level, so high school, bachelor's degree, master's, PhD. So this is qualitative. And it's ordinal, because you could order this, because PhD kind of beats out master's beats a bachelor's degree, etc. So there is some sort of order. The distance a person commutes to work. So this is quantitative, and it's also continuous. Letter grade in a class, qualitative, and it's ordinal, because there is a ranking to this. Everybody wants to get an A, nobody wants to get an F. Okay, the number of siblings a person has. So this is quantitative. It's also discrete, because you can't have 3.5 amount of siblings. Okay.